Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MLGB stream here. We are at the U.S. Finals. Gandhi, Mr. X, how you doing, buddy?
How's it going? I'm good,
it's going, man. It's been a long day already.
I know.
It's only been 2 matches.
Yeah, you've done a lot of speaking today, Scott.
Yeah, got a lot more to go.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah?
You're great.
You're great. Don't you do this to me right now. Well, anyways, right now we have Curse Las Vegas in Game 5. They just took the first round, and there is a lot of vocal.
Yeah, a lot of pressure right there. I mean, they won the first map of this series against Rise by only 1 point, I believe.
Yep.
So, I mean, it easily could already be over in Rise's favor. But, you know, this is crazy. I did not expect this to happen. But
I didn't either. I think everyone kind of looked at Rise and they were like, well, you know, I don't know what to expect. And right now it is tied up 1-1.
Yeah.
This is like radio broadcasting.
I know, this is like radio, right? We can, like, they can't see it, but we can see it. So
yeah.
it looks like
Welcome.
Wheats takes out the last guy right there. You know, very impressive play from Wheats. And you know, Rise is a team, Scott, that I don't think a lot of people expected to do.
I didn't.
No, but at the same time, I did not expect FaZe to be in this position too.
FaZe got 3-0'd pretty hard too.
With a quickness.
With the quickness, to say the very least. And so right now, the match that we're jumping into is Final Boss taking on FaZe. Matt,
yeah,
it was not good for Final Boss going against Complexity. They kind of got steamrolled. They lost by 50 points on Domination. They lost 6-2 in Search, and then they lost pretty bad on Blitz as well.
Yeah, you know, that second half of that last Blitz, you kind of saw Final Boss start to come alive a little bit. You know, their shots started to get warmed up. You know, with players like them, you know, they're not really used to Call of Duty totally yet. So they need a little more time to warm up than, you know, some of these like professional players who've been playing for a while, like, you know, the FaZe guys. But the FaZe match against just SB shocked me completely.
Yeah, when I was in the booth, I was like, wow, that's impressive. So, ladies and gentlemen, Strike Zone Domination, you guys know how this works. We play one side of 5 minutes, then we flip it, and then we do the other. We're on board with Proofy here from the members of FaZe, and already they won the breakout here, and they're up in kills, which doesn't mean much, but
which doesn't mean much. But, you know, the fact that, you know, they're able to get control off the start, you know, with a team like FaZe, it's going to come down to momentum. If they can really just get that winning feeling back, you know, like, after going down against SB with the way they went down, I mean, you know, they need to start this first map off well, because if they don't, they're just going to have too many negative vibes, Scott. Yeah,
well, a great route here is Ace just comes all the way to the top of the courtyard, cleans up one guy, and now he knows that all members of FaZe are coming from C, and he's got a flank, he's got one, and that's a 2-piece. Ace really heating up 4-0.
Yeah, and I mean, Ace is your global champion for Halo 4.
Savage.
I mean, he is just a monster. I would say he's definitely one of the best Halo players to switch over. I would say Ace, Enable, and Formal, you know, from this game. I wouldn't consider Krim really a Halo guy much anymore. I mean, he's been a dominant mainstay on Call of Duty for more than a year now, but you know, we see Ace on our screen. He's just tearing it up, Scott. He's on a 7-kill spree.
Yeah, he's working on it right now. He's sitting up top of A stairs, and he's doing an excellent job here. If you look at your mini-map, you can see the members of FaZe are trying to sneak into B here, and Final Boss is kind of shutting it down, and now I'm expecting to see a nice little push into C here if they do lose B.
Yeah, you know, Final Boss is going to need to rotate over to C. And this is the one thing that, you know, you noticed against Complexity. Their rotations are just a little bit slow,
Yeah,
Scott.
That's a good point, man.
Yeah, like, if they would have been on this a little faster, this would be a clean take, but it looks like Ace is going to come up with some fire right there. You know, that's what it comes from being a new team. You know, your rotation's a second slow, Call of Duty, all that little time matters. So, I mean, once they get it down better, I mean, they'll be one of the dominant teams in the game.
Yep, Classic looking here to jump on this A flag. He's got no one around him. They do have B. They do not have A. And almost gets a 2-piece. And now I'm going to stay on board with Classic because Classic is honestly a monster in this game. Like, you know, a lot of people talk about all the big names, but Classic can really keep up with all of them.
Oh, he can slay. You know, when I first heard that FaZe was picking up Classic, it was, you know, one of Replay's friends, like local friends. And I was like, oh, this is a bold strategy right here. You know, picking this guy up.
Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, very bold move. And you know, he came to Columbus and he absolutely shut it down, Scott. I mean, he's one of the most dominant submachine gun players in the game because his sub shot at long range is so accurate, and also his reaction time is on point.
Yeah, and they're looking to go for this as the Final Balls actually has him in a 2-cap. I'm actually going to go on board with the most winningest player in MLG history in Ogre 2. 31 event wins. He has his final appearances is like 49% or something just bonkers.
Yeah, I'm only 29 event wins behind him, so, you know. Actually, no, it's closer than that.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
11. Yeah, you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm pretty far.
Yeah. Anyway, Snipe Down here. Snipe Down for all you people who know nothing about Halo and you want to go to basically a Call of Duty event, your first one. Snipedown has that miraculous noob story. He showed up to his first event, and he was like, you know what? I think I'm pretty good. He places 8th, then he wins his next event. Very rare do you see that.
Yeah, I mean, that is almost unheard of. I mean, that's like the dream story for somebody sitting at home, right?
Yeah.
You know, oh, I'm pretty good at this game. Let me just go and tear the house down at a major event. And, you know, right now for FB, Snakebite's really going to need to step it up, Scott. You know, 4-11.
Yeah.
I mean, right the other way in the slaying department for everybody else. I mean, it's not too far separated, but you can't have that one guy on your team, you know, just drag down that kills.
Yeah, and this is actually looking really bad for FB here. They're trapped in B, and the members of FaZe are starting to push on B. They're not setting up a spawn trap. I think they almost want to contest it. Replay spots one, cleans him up, and now he's going to be pushing into the bar with his teammates. He does have no one around him, and although they're losing A, it's still fine for them because they're taking B and C.
Yeah, you know, this is a pretty good rotation right here into bar for FaZe, but I really don't like that final ball. I really don't like that FaZe didn't leave a guy at the C flag that they were able to, but now they're able to take it back, so that's good. But, you know, they should have left that last guy who spawned at C, Scott, and then rotated 3 guys into bar if they were going to take it.
Yeah, that makes good sense. This Classic's going to be taken down. Replays now swinging around the back of the bar. We have Proofy hanging out. He's going to be in the yellow. He's in a gunfight. He's going to win that one, and they're going to thwart that attempt. And it looks like they will be able to take this first side.
Yeah, and, you know, this is really big for FaZe's just momentum and just team morale going into this next game. I really don't think they expected to get 3-0'd by FaZe. By SB. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think they did at all.
I saw Jake Havy. He looked like he was very shocked at, you know, just the outcome of the match. Obviously, you expect to win, but, you know, going into that match, everyone said that was going to be the most highly contested match of that first round, and it wasn't very close at all, Scott. I don't know if you saw any of it.
I didn't. I couldn't see any of it. It was that bad, huh?
Yeah, I was very shocked as well. I picked the FaZe to beat them. You know, we thought FaZe was extremely good online. We thought,
yeah,
you know, they had a very good chance, you know, of making a run at this tournament. I mean, they still do. Their road through losers isn't too bad.
Yeah, their road through losers is not. Well, now it's a little bit different than what we kind of predicted it would be. So it's going to be tough, dude. It's still going to be very, very tough. But anyways, taking a look at the kills here. Proofy 16-11, Classic 14-14, JCap 10-10, Replays 13-7 on the other side. Ace, the global champion, 14-13, the only one who is positive. And I have great eye vision here, and we are seeing that Curse Las Vegas is down 2-4.
Oh, 2-4. I thought that was a 3.
2-4. Miracles, his controller is on the ground, which means he's out of the game. And I know there's a lot of Curse Mob fans out there who really want to know. So I'm going to hook this up as we're waiting on this next map to
we
load
can
up.
cast this one a little bit while we wait for the next one. It looks like Parasite's got the bomb. He's over by B on Warhawk, and, you know, he's pushing straight up in the garage. That's an interesting play.
Yeah, and Kill is actually running that Remington still. Like he's sitting back loading, and he's going to be taken out from the side. This is not looking good. And you can always tell how good Curse Las Vegas is doing based on their body composition. Right now, Miracle's hands are on his head. He's kind of like, you know, what's going on? I can't believe we're in this position. We're 3/4 of the defending world champs.
Yep. Parasite plants the bomb. He's able to get one. There's a guy behind him. It might be a one-on-one. Yeah, it is a one-on-one situation, I believe. And Parasite's taken out by Wheats. Wheats, who's 11-3, telling Parasite that he is a warrior and that he's not very good at video games. And I believe he just said he is the best. So that is a huge, huge statement right there.
Basically, what just happened was
basically what happens is Wheats got a kill, defused the bomb, told everybody who's really good at video games, told the other people they weren't good at video games.
Oh, yeah. He basically said your video game skill is nowhere near my video game skill.
And now they're one round away from sending LV to losers.
So we'll be able to keep you guys updated on that. It is now going to be 5-2. Anyways, Matt, who do you want to start off with here?
You know, I think we should start off with somebody from FaZe. I want to start off with Replays. You know, he had a very good first half of that game. Coming into this event, though, Scott, he was the player that, you know, teams were just kind of looking down upon him from FaZe. You know, they were like, he's the weakest link. You know, his KD in the MLG League, not the best. He's not near the top, very near the bottom. You know, he's a guy that, you know, for them to advance in this tournament, he's going to need to play well. He played very good that first half, but, you know, they're going to need it consistently from this guy.
Yep. Kills one guy in the closet, throws a Semtex, trying to see if anything's there. Nothing's there. JCap now pushing it. He's going to be taken out already. And Final Boss has the 2-cap right off the break, and it's looking good for them. They do have B and C, and as you're looking at the mini-map, we'll bring it up real quick as he's in a gunfight, and then I'll bring it back down. You can basically see that Final Boss has really good map positioning right now, but Replays is just cutting through him.
Yeah, you know, that's a great start from Replays. I don't like the exact way he played that situation, though, Scott. You know,
yeah,
he's supposed to be more of their OBJ player in a way, right? And, you know, he kind of baited JCap to go get that other kill, the second kill. He didn't really get position for his team. You notice they still gave up B. He was playing very just scared and defensive over there. If you're an OBJ player out there, you know, you watch guys like TP and Ray. They're constantly pushing. You know, it's not about just their KD and stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes when people start talking about, you know,
yeah,
your KD, like blah, 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 whatever, you know, you start to be a little more conscious and just play for kills. And, you know, we may be seeing that out of Replays right now.
Oh, man. Well, he has 2 guys pushing him right here around the bar. His teammate's able to pick up 1. There's another guy coming around front bar, and his teammates clean him up. So FaZe looking to finally grab B here as he gets knifed in the chest. And now I am going to jump on board with Snakebite, who is looking to regain B.
Right, and, you know, this would be big for FB, but it looks like they're giving up the C flag. Actually, they only got it neutral for them, so, you know, not a bad play for FB, but it's going to be interesting to see where they rotate out of bar. They're going to rotate A, so somebody's going to need to cut off this mid because that's extremely important.
Yeah, Ace actually going all the way back here, jumping on board over here with Snipe Down, who's going to be able to grab A. They really need to hold this 2-cap for a while. They only lost by, I think it was about 15 points, so they're still sitting fine. They just really need to hold this 2-cap for a while, and right now FaZe is doubled up on B, and FB is nowhere to be found. Yeah,
you know, right now out of FB, you're just seeing them play a little too slow, Scott. You know, Strike Zone Domination is one of the faster game modes. You can get away with reckless play on this map. That's one of the things that, you know, for a team like FB, they're going in against FaZe, right? You can kind of assume, like, you know, they know the game better than us.
Oh, man.
For somebody like FB, you need to play a map like this that, you know, you can take advantage of these gun skills.
Oh, this is perfect?
Yeah, they have a perfect setup right now, Scott.
This is perfect. They do have A and C here. The members of FaZe are trapped in B. They're trying to push out Closet. Snakebite was just taken down here, and now we are going to see as Ogre 2 is in the position, and now FaZe is going to just be able to push out. Snipedown's going to be taken out, and now FaZe is now going to be able to get C and B, assuming all goes according to plan.
Right, so right here, you know, if Final Boss, you spawn Junk, you need to push immediately to C. You need to flood 3 guys to C, keep a guy at Junk who can watch A, and, you know, that's really the setup you want to go for, but they're acting on it too slow, Scott.
Yeah. And, you know, it's always interesting when you're playing domination, too, on this, because it's like, there's so, oh, God, nice knife. But there's so many times where you're like, what do I need to do right now? And that's where small talk comes into play. But, like, you know, so many people play it, and they're just like, I don't know if I should be pushing Closet or if I should be going for the cutoffs on A.
Yeah, no, it's all got to be communication. You know, one of the things that we like to do is, you know, it goes off of who spawns first. So the first guy will push, second guy gets cuts, third guy probably will replace the first guy who you know, died to a trade, and then the last guy watches home flag. And it looks like LV just lost first round, and they are not very happy.
Yeah. Well, anyways, having said that, I have some thoughts. Final Boss now finds himself being down still by about 11 points, which puts the total at about 26. This is one's almost out of grabs. They basically need a 3-cap, but it is most likely, more than not, all she wrote. It's very hard to get a 3-cap here, especially on Strike Zone, just because of how many people just rotate. And I know, dude, I'm just as shocked as you, bro.
I know, I'm shocked from this, you know, LV loss right now. But right here, you can see the kills out of Final Boss, Scott. I want to note that. They have so little amount of kills because they're not getting in any gun, like, they're really not forcing gun battles. And this is a map where you need to play super aggressive, fast pace. When your top guy has 11 kills, you know, last guy 8, you're not forcing gun battles. You're not playing at the speed that it would take to win this map.
Yeah, it's, and you know, that's one of the main things that everyone kind of said about, you know, Ogre 2 and Final Boss was that, you know, they're so slow. They are very, very slow in this game. Where, you know, when you see them kind of get in that desperate mode, and like we saw kind of happen at the end of the Complexity game, you see them get in that desperate mode, and they start really pushing the issue, and then they can shine on their gun skill, but it's like they're afraid to let their gun skill shine, which is really, really weird.
Right. You feel like a team like FB, right? You know, their main strength is their gun skill.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know the game really well. at this point, you need to have a play style that's going to play to your strength.
Oh yeah.
Sitting around and just basically waiting to make mistakes. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
So they need to play a fast pace that other teams there, it's going to force them out of their comfort zone to play fast pace, just one-on-one gun battles, just single gun battles. You're going to be able to win consistently if you're FB and you can pull that play style off.
Yep. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, FaZe has won game 1 of the best of 5 in losers bracket round 1. We're going to a quick commercial break. When we come back, search and destroy. Stay tuned.